For most people, the modern financial market looks like a digital gold rush. Fueled by endless social media highlight reels, new traders are conditioned to treat complex global markets like a highly accessible casino, expecting instant, exponential wealth. Pradeep started far from the high rises of the financial sector. Growing up in a low-income family in a small village in Haryana, he lost his father early on and spent his youth doing grueling physical agricultural work just to help his family survive. He recognized early that the fields wouldn't provide the growth he needed. He took a 9-to-5 job, eventually partnering in a physical business. By putting in years of methodical, disciplined effort, he slowly pulled his family into a comfortable, stable life. Here is where the trap opens. Pradeep had the cars, the house, and the stability, but after hearing about day trading, the promise of massive, immediate cash overshadowed the slow, steady grind that built his actual success. The market preys on this exact mindset. A person who already knows how successful in the real world suddenly expects the market to yield those same results overnight, completely bypassing the learning curve. Around 2015, Pradeep entered the Indian financial markets. He left his disciplined business instincts at the door. Instead of learning how the system operated, he went straight for high leverage options. He bypassed basic mechanics and treated these complex financial instruments like lottery tickets, chasing the massive daily returns he saw heavily promoted online. The result was a 1 crore loss. 10 million rupees of hard-earned wealth evaporated in a matter of months. The weight of that number crushed him. His family's entire standard of living was built on his previous business success, and he was now carrying a massive secret debt he couldn't even confess to them. Many traders try to dig themselves out by borrowing more money and placing even wilder bets to get it all back at once. Pradeep realized that trying to force the market to pay him back would only destroy him completely. He had to absorb the loss and rebuild his approach from the ground up. He stopped looking for quick cash and started treating the market like the real-world enterprises he used to run. That required a total reset of his daily strategy. His very first rule was to maintain an outside cash flow. You cannot trade effectively if your survival depends on pulling money out of the market every single day. When a trader needs the market to pay rent, financial pressure forces suboptimal entries. Fear causes huge losses, draining capital and restarting the cycle. But a steady day job paycheck breaks this loop entirely. With living expenses covered, you have patience for high probability setups. Trading capital is the oxygen of this business. A traditional job acts as the life support system, keeping you breathing long enough to actually learn how the market moves. Survival requires a safe place to practice. Pradeep entirely stopped trading high-risk options and moved his focus to standard cash equities, or stocks. This split-screen graph shows why. On the left, an options contract's premium can rapidly bleed out, taking your investment to zero in a single afternoon. On the right, a standard stock fluctuates mildly, but rarely collapses to absolute zero. That buffer buys a beginner time. Once mastering the mechanics of price action, Pradeep sought an environment tailored to a specific strategy, eventually shifting the bulk of his trading to cryptocurrency. Traditional markets like the Nifty 50 close overnight. If major economic news breaks while the market is shut down, the index can open the next morning hundreds of points away from where it closed, wrecking even the best planned trades. Crypto operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That continuous flow eliminates overnight gaps, meaning a trader can manage their positions and execute their stop losses in real time, exactly as planned. Consistently making money in the markets does not require you to predict the future. It requires you to operate in a mathematical environment where your financial risk is strictly contained, isolating your trades from unpredictable external shocks. Today, Pradeep operates from a place of quiet consistency. Instead of flaunting sports cars to sell courses, he runs Trade with Family, teaching thousands of students offline for absolutely free. And in nearly every batch of students, he gets the exact same desperate question: how can I recover my massive losses in a single month? His answer is blunt. It is structurally and mathematically impossible to rush the recovery of massive debts through aggressive trading. Attempting to force the market to yield huge returns on a tiny amount of capital is exactly what causes people to lose everything in the first place. Survival demands extreme patience. You have to focus entirely on managing your downside risk, abandon the gambler's mindset, and embrace being a lifelong student of price action. The financial markets are incredibly efficient machines designed to penalize impatience. To survive them, you have to master your own psychology long before you ever attempt to master the charts.